Hello YouTube, this is BUB'S Comics coming at you with a comic haul from Frankfort, Kentucky Comic Con. It's called Frankfort Con, I believe. So they had one of these back in the summer, and I did pretty well at it. I was a little bit newer, like I hadn't focused my collection very much at that time, but it's hyper-focused since then. So I was really excited to go back and see what they had. Admission is a little high, it's like $20. I think that's a little high for a small con like this, but they always do at least bring one, I wouldn't say huge name creator, but, decent, a name you would know creator. This year it was Marv Wolfman, or for this time it was Marv Wolfman, the writer, and he was also an editor for Marvel, so, and a writer for DC as well. So anyway, pretty good guy, wasn't hugely impressed with him or anything like that, but I do like his work, so that's how it goes. So we'll see some of his signatures towards the end of the haul. So let's start off. I was pretty much key hunting this time around, and so I've got a couple of good books from there, and then I've also got some books that I picked up from Instagram and some that I picked up on Facebook. So here we go. We'll start off with a book from the con. Here is, actually the way you gotta do it is like this. Alright. There is Thor 337, the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. Very happy to have this comic. I had purchased one. My son is a Beta Ray Bill fan. I had purchased one for him, but this is my copy now. So I didn't have a copy for myself, so I got one for him, and so now sometime later, this is my copy. And not to be outdone, they were a set, so there is the Mighty Thor 338, second appearance of Beta Ray Bill. We're going to keep these coming pretty hot and heavy. So the next one is also a con pickup. It was the Amazing Adventures number 11. That is a very good grade copy of this book. As you all know, I'm basically a low grade collector. It's what I enjoy. Somebody posted a low grade comic recently on Instagram, and they're very happy with it, and it was a beautiful book. And my comment was, all 9/8 look the same. If you're looking for a pristine, like file copy type book, every 9/8 looks the same. There's no character to a 9/8 book. If you like to collect 9/8s, that's good for you. Everybody collect what they want and be happy about it. But to me, I like the low grades because every book looks different. They start turning into frickin' snowflakes when they get below 5.5. So there you go. Amazing Adventures number 11, first appearance of Furry Beast. Not to be outdone, we have Iron Fist number 14. It's the first appearance of Sabretooth. This is a book that wasn't even on my radar for getting this year. Every time I see it, it seems to be a little higher than I wanted to pay. Nice newsstand there too. I just didn't want to pull the trigger on this book. I've seen some real rag copies of this book, but basically since I'm not a huge Iron Fist fan at this point, I don't think I've read even anything with Iron Fist in it. Maybe in some Marvel Comic Presents, but I haven't read much of him. So I'm not a big Iron Fist fan, so really I'm just getting this for the first appearance of Sabretooth, and I love the classic Sabretooth costume. I think it looks really cool. And so I was excited to get this book. I never thought I would have this book, really, anytime soon. So when I saw it at the con, and, I was working my magic over on all the vendors, so, I paid very, very little, if you went by the price tags on all these books when I got them home before I rebagged and boarded them and stuff, if you looked at the price tags, you'd think I spent a fortune there, but really everything was, I paid about a third of what the combined price tags were, so I did pretty good. Next we have Batman 251. This is a classic Neil Adams Joker cover. I've been looking for this book for a while. You can get this book in rag grade anywhere from $75 to $100, and then the better the condition, the better it gets. To me, it's in that age where it doesn't really bother me when it has a little extra love, and this one's been loved. This one's been loved real hard. So it really helps to know your grading. When you practice your grading at home, look at a book, see what it is, and I'm not talking about how close can you get to CGC grading. I'm talking about picking up a book, going through the pages, learning what to look for, learning what, I was standing at a table at the con going over a book, And you start talking about this stuff. If you know what you're talking about, and you will if you learn, people will gravitate towards you just to learn what you're talking about. So I was talking about the difference between foxing and other types of mold, and rusting staples, and whether you can tell whether the rust is migrating or not. Just a lot of different things to look at. But anyway, what a dealer, especially at a convention, says the book is and what the book really is can be very, very different. So this is an example of a book that was overpriced for its grade. Really nice guy. I had nothing against the seller. It seemed like everyone at this con had their books priced as if it was a mid to high grade book. Like every book there was priced like it was a 7.5. And most of the books that I came across were 2.5s to 5.5s. So when I start negotiating, I come at it from what would I be happy paying for this book if I found it some other way in this condition. So, and that's basically my offer to them. I'm not trying to lowball anybody too hard, but there's a price that I'm willing to pay for the condition that I think it is. So anyway, and I like buying raw books for that reason too, because you can really go through a book, and see what it is. So anyway, here's Batman 251, classic Neil Adams Joker cover, and another book I never thought I would pick up this year. This is huge. All right, so next we have The Savage She-Hulk #1. I think picking up this book is funny because I had just literally by half a second missed out on this book on Facebook auction. So, the thing that I don't like about Facebook auctions, and I'm swearing off them. So this is, you guys can hold me accountable. I'm swearing off of Facebook auctions. I'll do Facebook buy it nows. I'll do a buy it now anywhere. It doesn't bother me at all. But the idea of staying up till 11:30 at night and then somebody PMs the seller, and basically Facebook is a great place to sell comics, and no one selling on Facebook would ever tell you anything otherwise. Facebook is the best place to sell comics because there's no protection for the buyer. There's sometimes they'll try and hit you with friends and family, and you end up paying extra. Some of them don't ship well either. They'll ship it media mail, and they don't want to hear any complaints or anything because there's no real rating system. Unless they break the rules, they're not going to get kicked out of a forum. And then when an admin gets involved, they're like the hand of God, and they just tell you how it's going to be, whether it's fair or not. That's just what they've decided because they're judge, jury, and executioner on it all. So it really kind of soured over the Facebook auction stuff. Some people are like, oh, I love Facebook auction. I get great scores on them. I do too, but usually it's the buy it nows that I do well. And all this hard close, soft close stuff on Facebook auctions, if you're not familiar with it, don't bother. And if you are familiar with it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's kind of like, I swear that there have been books that a buddy has, like those soft closes. I had one time where a guy came in, and for the seller, I was getting a book for way undervalued, but nobody was bidding. The seller didn't close the book I was bidding on for 45 minutes. And then as soon as someone else came in and bid, he closed it a minute and a half later. And I got skunked out of it by $1. I was like, what the heck is that? How do you not close it? How do you not close an auction? But anyway, I think that was kind of dirty. So a lot of crap happens on Facebook, as you would imagine. So stay away from those. Personally, I stay away from those Facebook auctions now. I'm done with them. So to pick up this book just literally like a day later, super happy about it. And it's in a way better condition. I mean, this thing really is in good condition. I'm not knocking 9.8s. I'll pick them up all day long. I just can't appreciate lower grades as well. And this one's probably about an 8.5. So very happy with that. Next we have X-Men 131. That's first cover appearance of Emma Frost, the White Queen. And, just pretty cool. You can't beat that. I love it. It's part of this Hellfire story that I've been collecting, and I've about got all of them, part of the Dark Phoenix saga. So, and then next you have one of my favorite covers, Uncanny X-Men 133. This is Wolverine's first solo outing, and pretty cool newsstand edition. Very happy with that. I already had the Marvel Legends reprint. So I was happy to get this one. Couldn't believe I could get this one. These two I got on an Instagram, from an Instagram seller. So that was pretty cool. This next one as well from Instagram. No, this one's from Facebook. Uncanny X-Men 135. That was one of the higher priced books that on Facebook auction. I really didn't kind of intend to pay so much, but turned out I still bought it for about half of what it goes for, so I was happy with that. Back to Instagram, we've got Moon Knight #1. This book is funny because it has like red eyes and it has like a mark there and it's all red. So I thought for sure that this had been drawn in with like a marker. You could even see where it kind of has that color on it, where it's like darker around underneath the eyes. But actually that's the book. Like that's how they all look. So I had to look it up, and I looked at some high-res scans of other books, and it was the exact same coloration. So it kind of looks goofy to me, but you know, I'm happy to have Moon Knight #1. I've been looking for this one. It's been on my low radar, and it snuck in on an amazing deal on Instagram. So happy to have that. I think this is the last of my Instagram pickups. This is the Invaders #1, annual #1, and this is an Alex Schomburg cover. So it's my first Schomburg cover. I see what all the fuss is about. So much stuff packed into this book. I mean, it's just, and it's in great condition. It's just absolutely, there's a little Schomburg sig there. It's absolutely, it's bananas. It's absolutely bananas. All the stuff that he packs in to a cover is just so cool. So, and great centering on this. Well, actually, it's a low print. So you can see like the top here, the starburst is fully in. But look at how tight it is on that barcode. I mean, you couldn't sneak anything any closer and still have it. So it's another one of those examples where if you were to get this book, you know, in the wild, there's a good chance that either the top of the starburst is cut off, or you're missing some more of the barcode. So there you go. Next, this is my last book I picked up on Facebook auction. This is Infinite Crisis, or Crisis on Infinite Earths #7. So a classic cover there, and it's written by Marv Wolfman. So while I was at the con, I got him to sign it. So there's Marv Wolfman's signature there. So no COA required when you do it yourself. You know, that's how I like to collect my signatures in person when I can. And then these next two books are books I already had, but I didn't have them signed. So I got my Spider-Woman #1 signed by Marv Wolfman. He had a pretty cool signature, so I was happy to get it. And I got my Tales of the Teen Titans #44 signed by him as well. And that one he did in black, which is pretty cool. I like that one. So there you go. That's my big haul from the con, from Facebook, from Instagram. All kinds of great stuff here. So very, very happy. I don't know which one. I guess I'll leave you with Furry Beast. Look out, Cyclops. There you go. So there's Amazing Adventures #11, first appearance of Furry Beast. Just thought you guys might. Lo, a beast is born. So there you go. And I'll have more comics to show off probably this week because I picked up more than this. But it was just the haul was too big, so I just wanted to keep it under 15 minutes. So thank you all for joining me for this. Don't forget to tune into the No Faces Comic Chat at 7 o'clock Eastern on this same channel. And this is BUB'S Comics signing off and reminding everybody to read a comic. Thanks. Bye.